Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome to the AwakenPod, where people come when they want to connect in with the remembrance of living awakened, yes, of being supported, encouraged, encouraged and uplifted to engage your I am in your now, to engage your I am in your now, to trust you, to trust that you're safe, to trust that you're loved, and to trust that you're, yes, directing this exploration of you that you are on. Welcome, welcome home, Holy One. Welcome home. So this is our Awakened Pod, and today we're going to talk about quantum healing. Quantum healing. What is quantum healing? What makes it quantum? What's healing in quantum healing spaces? And why is it coming into the human collective more now than ever? I remember through my childhood, teenage years, young adults, even 30s and 40s, quantum wasn't a common word that I used. And now I think I say it almost every single day. I say it every single day. I work with it. I connect in with it. I am this vibrational field. So how fascinating, isn't it? That many of us in the human collective, we've shifted our understanding of ourselves and the world around us into a new field. We talk about that a lot in the Awakened Pod. We talk about the understanding of living awakened and what is happening with our consciousness, yes, as we are engaging this remembrance of ourselves, awakening this remembrance and activating this remembrance. And the engagement, the awakening, the activating happens through choosing consciously, purposefully, intentionally to live awakened. So then it's coming in your words. When you're having a connection with someone, a conversation with someone, something's, unfolding, something's playing out. It's happening in your words. Living awakened is within your words. It's within your actions. The way you hold yourself, carry yourself, the gestures, postures. Yes. It's in your tone. Yes. It's in, your biofield, your auric field, your flow of consciousness, your belief structure. And this isn't to be judgmental. This is to just offer information. But have you ever seen somebody that maybe is walking into a store or walking through a park or walking through the building at work or whatever it is? Have you ever seen someone walking and they look like they're carrying the weight of the world? They're maybe leaning forward or hunched over some. Shoulders are dropped forward. Spine is not straight. Bad posture doesn't mean you're not awakened, but it does mean your body's gotten very used to carrying you in a manner that reflects, I'm tired. There's nothing wrong with being tired. It's just understand it's a vibrational alignment. Meeting yourself right where you're at is the most powerful thing you can do. So if you're tired, you're tired. If you're hunched over or you're slouched, you're hunched over and you're slouched. Acknowledge the fact that that has an energetic vibration and that you're available. Hear that, please. You're available to yourself, to love yourself, gently guiding yourself into shifting, yes, the way in which your body reflects your field, the way in which your body is emanating your vibratory state of existence. Watch your tone, listen to your tone, pay attention to your tone, observe your tone, be aware of your tone. Is it carrying the frequency of your I am? Is it carrying the frequency of peace and balance? Is it okay to have a tone one day that's carrying the vibration of frustration, of anxiety, of fear, of shame, of guilt, and then, within hours or maybe the next day, you shift and you're back into your I am flow? Absolutely, 100%. It's called being human. But the more you exercise that ability to be aware, to observe, to shift, to alchemize your energies, you are implementing and activating your higher states of consciousness by doing those purposeful, intentional choices. Yes. For a very long time in the human collective, there's been these teachings about getting all up in what's wrong. Why do I feel anxious? Why do I feel off? You can spend your entire life looking for your whys, why things are wrong. But you can also choose to start looking at the spaces of you that are purposefully, intentionally choosing to redirect to the opposite of maybe what is fueling your dis-ease. Anxiety, redirect. That is an experiential space I no longer align with. Do I need to know why it's there? Well, if it's a medical issue, yes, that's a different story. I have that I dealt with and I healed. But I utilized the medical field because I had some spaces in my biological structure that had been so out of alignment for so long because of my purposeful and intentional alignment with fear. My body was riddled with it. And it was just processing it like anything would process that amount of energy in that space of density. It was in its state of dis-ease. And so even though my mind and my heart and my consciousness, in a sense, reset itself to peace and balance, I realized I don't have to get all up in this. I realized I don't have to claim I'm a person who has anxiety. I don't have to say that. I can, but I can also say I'm a person who has peace. What, I don't have peace. Well, you will never have peace unless you start claiming it. It's bringing in the balance while you shift lanes. You're not lying. You're not negating your feelings. You're choosing to masterfully implement a feeling, a vibratory state of alignment you prefer. It's all up to us. So I reset myself. And when I was doing that whole process of the reset of the self and shifting into allowing my spiritual side to awaken, I had to heal my carnal. I had to heal my flesh because my flesh had been trained, programmed, steeped like a tea bag in hot water for years and years and years and years, my entire life, 40 some years of my life, steeped in the waters of fear. So I had to help my body catch up. I had to help my nervous system get the memo that we're no longer in that field. And every time my nervous system came in and gave me some type of message, sensation that I was not safe, that I was in danger, that things were effed up, I had to talk myself down. I didn't have to figure out why I was feeling it. I had to realize I am the only thing that can tell my body and train my body to go to a different lane. I told it to do what it's doing, and now it was my turn to take responsibility and tell it that we're on a new path, that we're safe, that the distortion is no longer holding our attention. Please remember that sentence if you don't remember anything else. The distortion no longer holds my attention. Yes. So I learned a lot about energy and the body and the way in which we process energy and the way in which we heal the body and in essence heal the life. And in doing that, I learned a lot about energy healing. And it's an important factor in healing the being, period. So there's a big part of humanity for a long time that's probably considered energy healing as fake, not real, a joke. It's so misunderstood. Even though, if you go back through history, we have all these brilliant minds through science and spirituality and literature and art, theology. We have all these brilliant, brilliant minds that have written papers, books, articles, and they've documented everything is energy. Everything is energy. And all of it is about, the journey is about, the connections are about, the experiences are about, the thought processes are about frequency, vibration. Yes. And we're masterfully walking ourselves home. Nothing's wrong. We haven't missed the boat. We're not late. We're right on time. Everything we've been telling ourselves, we needed to tell ourselves. All of the distortions that have been here, we can own them as a win. And I know that's going to be a big one for some people, but honestly, if you understand the core of what I'm talking about, the mastery of the mind, and the way in which we create the world we experience, then you will be on board with owning that the distortions have prodded us forward to bring us to this space of ourselves in which we are now allowing and acknowledging and activating these higher spaces of our consciousness. If we didn't have the distortions that we've had, we wouldn't have pushed ourselves in such a way to, I would have never learned everything I learned about energy, about consciousness, about the soul, about the body, about the being. I would have never learned all of that if I was happy-go-lucky, if everything was hunky-dory. But the prod forward, the design I created to assist me in expanding, activating, shifting, remembering, were the spaces that I was in that I knew I was not going to allow them to be my truth. I knew I was more. Something inside of me was pushing me forward. I believe my I am. I kept hearing years and years ago, I've talked about it before on podcasts and video spaces, but I kept hearing in my being when I was in that space of dis-ease, this was 20 years ago or more, and I was in that space of dis-ease and struggle and distortion, and I kept hearing, like literally hearing, of echo voice inside me. Out of the blue, I'd be vacuuming, or I'd be sweeping, or I'd be resting on the couch, or taking care of the children, or doing my job. And I was hearing a very stoic, strong tone voice come in out of the blue. And the voice would say inside my being, "Remember who you are." Literally, like legitimately, that's what it sounded like to me. I got a feminine vibe, even though that does kind of have a masculine tone, right? I got a very, very strong feminine coming in. I used to see visions and stuff with it as well, but remember who you are, bellowing through my being. I was calling to me. My quantum being was calling to me. My multidimensional self was calling to me. My I am was calling to me to tell me to rise. Yes. To tell me I was not alone. Yes. To tell me to remember who I was. Yes. Because once I would remember who I was, I would no longer be in the space being who I was being at that moment, disconnected, separated out, filled with fear, riddled with dis-ease. Yes. Once I remembered who I was, I would shift my frequency. I would shift my location of reality into that alignment of my wholeness. And so I went on the journey to remember who I was. And it is how I got here. And now I help people remember who they are. I wrote the book, AQE Foundations. I wrote the book, AQE Foundations. And if you notice a title at the top, Remember Who You Are. Remember who you are. And I teach the course, AQE Foundations, teaching it right now. I teach it once a year. Interested? Check out my website. But I moved into this space of myself to understand quantum healing. And growing up, quantum healing was not a topic, wasn't a term, it was nothing. It was not available, if you will, because we weren't available. In order for this to show up, there has to be a resonance level for it to land in. There has to be a hangar big enough for it to land in. Does this make sense to you? Humanity as a whole has moved into a new resonance. There are incremental parts, pockets, facets of humanity as a whole that are just in the door. And they aren't even aware that they're waking up right now. They're still getting close to hearing, remember who you are, but it is not coming in yet. And then we have people in the middle, and then we have people who, like me, have already had that moment and done the work and shifted the spaces and left the old field. So the collective in general has all of these variation points, but that would make sense because we're a reflection of and we're incarnations of Source itself. And Source itself is vast beyond comprehension. So Source itself, vast beyond comprehension, would require, in many ways, if you will, all of these variation points. We're remembering we're multidimensional beings. What's a multidimensional being? You live in a dimensional field of existence. I live in a dimensional field of existence. As we just said, all those variation points, right? Based on the way in which you understand yourself and the world around you, determine where you're at in the field, in a sense. So somebody just coming in the door, they're going to be in a denser field because they have not learned how to maneuver that field yet, because they haven't learned who they are yet. So they're kind of walking around in the dark, if you will, bumping their head into the wall. And they're probably frustrated and tired and feeling like they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. But really, they're exactly where they chose to be. They're exactly where they designed to be. And as they move through that space of bumping into the walls, then they have the opportunity to figure out, oh, I'm bumping into walls. I keep hitting myself in the head on, I don't have to do this. I can turn on a light. Yes. I can figure out where I am and I can maneuver accordingly. Some people are in that space of it and they're navigating that wake up point. And then others, they're in the middle. And so they're navigating a very different space of experience. They're all in the same human collective. They're all on the same planet Earth. They're all in the same Earth plane existence, but their understanding of themselves in connection with their understanding of the world around them is creating very different experiential fields. More fear, more density, more experiences to back up the fear, to accommodate the belief, produced by the field in connection with your directive, your belief structures, your choices. Yes. Less fear, more love. Field responds, experiences that hold more love, hold more peace, more balance. Yes. Energy moves at a different flow in that field. These are different dimensions as well. Yes. So the slower, and this is not for judgment, this is just so the mind can help us, come into the conversation and understand energy. The slower flow rate, the denser energies, the tighter energies, the more gripping energies, the more intense energies, the more judgmental energies, the more fear-filled energies. If your thought holds fear and you feed that, you focus on it, and you give it credibility, then you are engaging in alignment with an experiential space of existence in which that field will reflect back to you confirmation of that fear. That's going to be a lower dimensional field. Maybe it's 3D, right? And then you're in the middle and you're leaving and you're realizing you haven't fully implemented yet, but you've begun. So you might be like 3.5. Yes. And then you're on a space where you've activated your remembrance and you're learning how to sustain it, to hold consistent alignment with your mastery. It's not fully there yet, but it's landing. Maybe you're in 4D. You're still in the same whole collective energetic field space, but the experiential field plugin, experiential plane plugin, is dimensionally different via the consciousness you're anchored in. Yes. So there's a multitude of dimensional fields. Yes. The vibration frequency changing as you go from one dimensional field to another dimensional field. There are beings that live beyond human in these fields as well. When you are in the very denser, fear-based dimensional existence fields, your experiences match that. So even if you have a dream and you have a lot of darkness in the dream, terror in the dream, fear in the dream, it's reflecting to you so that you can choose, just like I chose, you can choose if you want to stay in that field or not. This is what you're producing. This is what you're broadcasting. This is what you're creating alignment with. Do you want to stay here? The way you respond to that is going to tell the field, confirming, yes, I want to stay here. I want to get all up in it. I want to be afraid, and I want to feed it my focus. Or make a different choice when you have it. Look at it differently, register it differently, feel into it differently, pull back from it. Pull back from it instead of getting all up in it. Pull back from it, observe it, hold awareness with it, and come from a space of yourself where you're detaching from it. You're not feeding it anymore. You're just aware it's there, but you're like, not my circus. That's an experiential plane of existence I no longer engage. I took myself down this road. I've talked about it in other podcasts. I took myself down this path, and it took me years to do it, but that doesn't mean it'll take you years. I think people doing it now are doing it faster than ever because of the whole way in which consciousness shifts and expands, and then you get enough people in the collective running that higher state of consciousness. The people coming in the door, they're going to move at a different rate than the people when there wasn't that availability. I took myself down this path. I reset the way I connected in with fear and processed fear and understood fears, my nightmares, my freaky out-of-body travel spaces. If you're in 3D, you're tapping in many times to very low astral planes. And there are beings there. Creations there that will back up, solidify, acknowledge your belief structure and your fears and give you that experience. Yes. And then, if you're like, I'm in a space of my being now, and it was my choice to work through it, but not get all up in it. I never had to figure out why I had the dream. I never had to figure out what it was hooked to or, who put it there or blah, blah, blah. No, I made the decision that that's not me. Yes. I made the decision that I direct my flow, and I took my power back. And I reset myself. And so when I went into a dream or I went into a meditation or I went into an experiential space at all, out of body, whatever it is, and there was density there that was going to take me through the space that I had created the alignment with through my fear to give me the opportunity to confirm, am I staying here or am I leaving? I confirmed I'm out of here. Thank you very much. And I won't be back. How did I confirm it? I didn't engage it the way I had in the past. I engaged the space from a new alignment of myself that was holding peace and balance. I didn't let it make me afraid. I didn't let it make me think I had to do a whole bunch of things to cast it out, rebuke it, and blah, blah, blah it. I said, this is not my alignment. I choose love. I choose peace. You can too, to whatever it is that's trying to scare me. You can too. I'm talking to whatever it is trying to scare me. You can choose peace. You can choose love. And I'm not attached to what it chooses. So the minute I chose love and peace, and I offer it the opportunity to as well, and I'm not attached to what it does with it, and I don't need to know what it is or who it is or why it is, the minute I made those choices energetically, the field registered it and said, oh, she's not on that plane of existence anymore. She's not on that field alignment anymore. She's not in that dimensional or interdimensional connection anymore. We have to give her the field that matches her. She's in a new level of peace and a new level of balance. Here you go. And so I'm not connecting in with the beings I used to connect in with because I'm not on their experiential field of existence. I'm in a different field. We're multidimensional beings in human formats having a now. And as we have our now and remember our wholeness, trust ourselves more and more, learn to observe, learn to hold awareness, learn to implement our awareness, we begin to activate our remembrance of our multidimensional being, and we begin to come online more. That space of ourselves lands more because we've given it room to do so. And this is happening. This is an organic divine energy rising within, through, as us. We are the implementations of this, okay? So quantum healing is here now because we are remembered we're quantum beings. And quantum healing is just that. It's healing that's happening on a quantum level. So you have your physicality, you have your physical body, your biological structure, you have your mental body, your emotional body, your energetic body. You have spaces your energy has been and in the quantum teachings is still being at this very moment in what you would have called, for the mind's sake, a past life. You have spaces of yourself that are happening right now in what you would call your future. You are this vast, incomprehensible being. You are this vast, incomprehensible being. And this particular now is a life you designed specifically for you to remember that space of your vastness and begin to engage it, anchor it, and expand through it in this now. Most people that find my work, they're healers. They're light workers, they're spiritual teachers, mediums, empaths. Yes. We chose this. We designed this. Anybody who feels like they're trying to get out of here still because this has just always felt wrong to them or off to them or horrible or like difficult, or you're walking yourself back into remembering who you are, and you chose this design because you're so complex, you're so vast, you're so powerful that to land that amount of complexity, to expand into the remembrance of that amount of power, you needed a very specific design to wake you up. We, healers, light workers, spiritual teachers, mediums, empaths, we are here with this massive ability and responsibility, I feel, to rise and to assist. Not obligatory. This isn't an obligation. This is a get to. If you feel like it's an obligation and it's something you have to carry and you're exhausted, worn out, drained, you're on the other side of remembering who you are. You're not all the way into the zone of your essence flowing in your now, but you're on your way. Don't give up. Don't judge. Trust yourself and allow.
Yes.
Keep moving forward. Keep stepping into the next space of you. We're rewriting and we're resetting a template. You ever seen a template before? So it has a specific layout, a design, and it's placed upon a space, an experience, and it is the guide point. The template is the guide point for how that space, that experience will move and go and be. We, many of us, you're hearing me now, we are resetting the template. What am I talking about? The earth has an original template. That original template holds the essence point of source and the full memory of the connectivity of the unified field. That template, that original template for Earth, along the way, and that's a long, long, long way, has been distorted, mimicked, mirrored in a fake, artificial manner. Again, a purposeful prod forward for consciousness itself. This is like the most powerful game ever created. And it has all of these strategic points. It has all of these hidden features. And the players that are playing the game, some of them are at a level of skill that they're seeing the hidden features and they're able to register the loops, the mirrors, the mimics. They're able to register the fractures. And some players are not able to register it yet. The players that are registering it are anchoring that alignment, and that is helping the players sense, pick up on it, the ones that don't have it yet, and be able to shift into that alignment as well. Multidimensional beings, quantum healing. This is what we're doing right now. This is what's happening in humanity right now. And I know there's this incredibly loud, in-your-face reflection that is asking you to look at musicians that believe this and musicians that believe and stand for that. Spaces of science that say this and spaces of medicine that say that. Politics, disclosure. And then there's all these, like, they seem like fun fields that are trying to get your attention. Like, just bells and whistles, if you will. Game shows and award ceremonies for movies or TV or whatever it is. And most of humanity, I think, most of humanity has seen through this facade. And most of humanity is no longer, sports, that's a big one too. Sports is a big one. No offense to people that love sports, but there are a lot of distractions. And that is one of them. To keep everybody focusing, and unifiedly focusing is another PowerPoint for this as well, on spaces that have no true positive impact on the expansion of the multidimensional being. They do offer grounding, yes, because they keep you grounded in the sense of everyday humanness, which is a benefit, absolutely. But it's only a benefit if you're aware. If you're unaware, then there's no benefit to that because, in a sense, it's just numbing you out. And in many cases, it's feeding you distorted information to get you to be fearful and to get you to feel separate from someone else, to get you to hate somebody, judge somebody.
Yes.
So these distortion fields, these mimics, these loop spaces, they're all doing their best to keep humans from
Yes.
activating, connecting, and implementing that I am frequency that you are. Many humans have already activated it, and you can't turn it off, and they know it. So the prod forward's been received. The wisdom's been gained at such a level that it could be done. We don't need it anymore. But many are still plugged in and unaware.
Yes.
I believe more are unplugged now than ever and are reset into their divine essence. I believe more now than ever are in connection with their quantum being, their multidimensional self. And that is why we have quantum healing. That is why we use the term. That is why there are, books now and videos now and courses now and huge spiritual events all over the planet held by all different types of people to share connection with the understandings of quantum healing. I myself do Acasma quantum healing.
Yes.
My book is about Acasma quantum energy. That's what the AQE in AQE Foundations stands for. We're ready for this space of ourselves. We are ready for this space of ourselves. We brought ourselves here. It's time. So when you have a quantum energy session with myself and a Acasma quantum energy session and or one of my beautiful facilitators across the planet, I did not activate and attune everybody because we also have teachers now. We're in 7 different languages, and this came out in 2020. So it's a really incredible growth based on all of the points connected with how this happened. But when you have an Acasma quantum energy session with an Acasma quantum energy facilitator, they are resetting and reconnecting you into that I am flow. And if you have a session repetitively, maybe you go back and you have another session a month later or something like that, or you're in some of the group spaces that many are holding now. I hold them as well. I have the Acasma Grid of Light once a month. And say you come to that, it's on Zoom and or via video. That is a space with Acasma quantum energy. And then the reconnection and the reset, if you're there multiple times, every time you come back in, you're at a new level of you. And Acasma quantum energy meets you right where you're at and then allows and assists to take you deeper into your remembrance of who you are. Acasma quantum energy is quantum healing. It's assisting all areas of the being. The past, what we understand, what we think of as past lives, what we understand and think of as future lives, what we understand as the now, ancestral lineages, star lineages, off-world, other dimensions. It doesn't matter where your thought process goes as to a space of your being. Acasma quantum energy works with all spaces of you. There are other modalities out there, but I teach Acasma quantum energy. I built a community to support Acasma quantum energy. If you're interested, reach out. information below the video in the description. People who work with Acasma quantum energy, they are leaving the loops. They're leaving the loops, so they've left the loops. They've left the cycles. They've left the patterns of the denser, slower field spaces. And they're shifting vibrationally. They're changing dimensionally. Fractured records are no longer playing a role. Fractured soul spaces are no longer a problem or playing a role of difficulty, because the Cosmic Quantum Energy session is resetting those soul spaces to wholeness, to return, and peace and balance to align.
Yes.
So this is very, very big. And I, could talk for hours and there would still be more to talk about. But what I would suggest, if you are interested in what I've talked about here today, and you want to kind of look into your own being and allow yourself to acknowledge
Yes.
where you're at, what you're doing with your quantum being, your multidimensional being, could allow yourself the thought, the intentional alignment of belief that you are more. You're more than I could ever convey to you. You're more than you could ever remember. The minute you remember a space of your more, the minute you remember a space of your more, you expand, because every remembrance holds a vibratory signature. It holds energy. So the minute you remember a space of yourself, and what do I mean by remember? Like if I ponder my vastness, if I think about how vast I am, I see Andrea, A.L. Garris. I see her personal life, her family connections. I see her soul family connections. I see what she does for a living. I see what her dreams and her aspirations are, her hopes. I see the way I look at the me as light, as consciousness before I took on this form, this body, this life I know as Andrea. I see that space of myself outside of form, outside of humanity, and I allow myself to just feel into it. Imagine it, think about it, feel into it. And there's a vastness there. No one can tell you what that space is but you. And you're not going to be wrong.
Yes.
Yes. And as you allow yourself to hold that thought or hold that feeling or hold that connection point, your energy, your consciousness expands, because you're connecting in with a space of that expanded you, that multidimensional you, that quantum you. And the minute you expand, your vibration changes and your field location shifts to match you. Your experiential life changes to match you. You and I, all of us,
Yes.
can change with every breath. Incrementally, vastly. We can change with every breath, though.
Yes.
To some degree, by allowing, by being available, by pondering, by considering, by imagining. Think about how much time people spend thinking about, worrying about, focusing on, like, what bills they have to pay, or what somebody said about them, or how they're going to do their job, or they hate their job, or how much time is spent focusing in one way or another on problems and issues, difficulties and fears. So would it not make sense that it could be a balance point, if nothing else, to focus on, think about, imagine, ponder your vastness? You don't have to worry if you'll get it right. Who is going to tell you? It's a space no one has the right to define but you. Yes. And when you are doing that connection, you're not only bringing in balance to, like, the life that's been focused on the worries. Okay, now I'm going to focus on my vastness. Now that means there's some balance, right? That's definite, inevitably true. But it's also inevitably true that that opens the connection point for the vastness to become more of your reality. Wherever your focus goes, your energy's flowing in an alignment of confirmation with the field that that's who you are. I'm worried, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I hate this, whatever. The field says, okay, that's her alignment. Match her. Match him.
Yes.
So when you can give yourself some moments of time, meditation, energy session, before you fall asleep at night, before you get out of bed in the morning, at a traffic light, sitting in nature, whatever your thing is, all of the above, you give a thought, a 1-minute thought, a 10-second thought. I am vast. What does it mean to you? What does it look like to you? What does it feel like to you? Run the energies really quick. There you go. Boom. You just made a confirmation to the field that you're vast. What happens to life when you believe you're vast? You're abundant in all areas. You're happy. You're grounded. You're at peace, even if the reflection changes, zigs and zags, because vastness just knows. It's remembered who it is. It holds its strength. It holds its unwavering faith, no matter what's going on, because it's vast. Vast to me is source. Vast to me is spirit. Vast to me is eternal. Vast to me is beyond comprehension. So if I'm all of that, ooh. Are there days where I have to remind myself? Absolutely. But because I work with that, because I initiate and activate and implement with that space of myself, it's more present, it's more available. You are a quantum being. You are a multidimensional being. And in this focal point, this specific focal point of you, of me, we are human. But we are always and forever source light.
Mm.
The I am.
Mm.
The divine.
Mm. Yes.
So quantum healing is here because we are now embodying the quantum. So our healing modalities would meet us where we're at. Quantum healing is here because we are embodying the understanding of ourselves as multidimensional, as source within form. And quantum healing matches that, holds resonance with that, is the connection point of that field or that space of the field. So that is why Acasma quantum energy is here now. Spaces of healing we've used in the past, powerful, beautiful, respected, revered, loved, grateful for them all. But who we were is not who we are. And who we are is a brand new field, connected in as a brand new earth, running through incredibly beautiful, sacred new humans who understand themselves as quantum, who remember themselves as multidimensional, and who hold their vastness and ground it through their human. And the cosmic quantum energy assists that process. So I'm super excited. I don't know about you, but I'm super excited. I love the concept of quantum healing, of the multidimensional self. It just makes everything seem to make more sense to me. The way I feel about myself and the world around me and the navigation of being human makes more sense when I understand it through this vantage point. So I love our talks, and this has been a really good one. And many of you, I had the opportunity to meet you recently at the Conscious Life Expo. So I was just there just a bit ago. And we did the Los Angeles LAX Hilton Conscious Life Expo, and it was fantastic. It was next level. So if I had the opportunity to meet you there, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was quite a blessing. Thank you for coming to the lectures, the workshop, the panel, the booth, in whatever way you connected. Thank you. And if you guys want more content like this, you want to connect with me further, the classes, the meditations, the energy sessions, everything's available on my Patreon platform. So please get over there and check it out. AL Garris on Patreon. There's a link below the video here. And if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know. But I'm honored to walk with you. And I'm grateful to be living awakened with you. Blessings upon your nows, holy ones. Blessings.